Hi, my name is Anna Robinson, and this is my uptake analysis video for my interview project for English 101, where I decided to interview my boyfriend Will about his favorite video game, Old School RuneScape. When we were given this assignment, this is not the person or the topic I imagined I was going to do. My head was kind of spinning about who did I want to interview, what did I want to talk about, and it kind of got to the point of procrastination. I know that it was suggested to us that maybe we do a professor, or perhaps if we can work it in with a grad school interview that we were doing. There just wasn't anybody that came to mind or a reason why I needed to interview somebody. So I decided, with the leniency that seems like that we were given, that I would do my boyfriend. And I knew that he can talk all day and night about Old School RuneScape, and I knew from that there was a lot of aspects of Old School RuneScape that would provide enough material for me to actually do this project on. And in a way, I think it does it did kind of create a unique aspect to the project, where I was able to interviewed somebody I'm so close with, and we were able to be pretty candid about what we talked about and go pretty in depth. Unlike maybe if I had talked to somebody I didn't really know, maybe it wouldn't have yielded such a good interview. It actually created an interview, at least for the adult version, that I'm pretty proud of. When I was asking him the questions and writing the article later, I really felt like a true reporter or interviewer or journalist. I feel like there's a lot of good content in there, and a lot of direct quotes, so it kind of was interesting to, unlike any paper that I've ever written, because I've never really interviewed somebody like that, where I was able to set the framework for an interview and then kind of put in his direct quotes, and it wasn't always chronological. I was pulling parts from what he said from later in the interview and more towards the beginning to kind of fit how I was trying to get my story across. For the child's version, that was a little more difficult. I thought because it was a video game that it would be really easy to incorporate it into a children's version. What I found was that it's not, because there's really not a lot that Old School RuneScape has to offer for children, especially this late in the game of Old School RuneScape. It's more towards long-term players that have been playing it since the beginning, which is something that I came to find out. So the way that I did it is, rather than using direct quotes, I kind of more or less explained to them what it is. I did let them know that I learned this from my boyfriend Will, but I was a little bit more descriptive about who I was and kind of like how this interview came to be. I just didn't feel like those sort of details were that important to adults, but just trying to find ways to pull a child into this story, or this article, to make it somewhat interesting for them, when ultimately I think what I was really getting at in my child's version of the article is that it's probably not going to be their first choice of a video game if they're looking for one.